We've got a need for some storage in here in the shop. Like many shops, there's lots of flat surfaces that just collect hammers and tongs and tools. So we need to have homes for the tools. So we're gonna make up some racks for our post vices here that we've got in the shop. So we can have a home for some hammers and tongs and whatever you can slot into those racks. I had already mounted the vise to some new stands for these anvils. We also had big hexagon plates cut with a bolt pattern to where we have female concrete anchors so that you can bolt these down and unbolt them and there's not studs sticking up. So it's real easy to move them around. But anyways, so yeah, these vices are real modular. But I built them in mind to have some racks around them. So I had nice rounded corners so that you don't bump into a hard corner. So I wanted the rack to continue on that same curve, building it out. So I did some drafting and some math to figure out the radiuses and the dimensions. And then I wanted to add a little blacksmithing flair to it since this is a forge shop. I didn't want to just fabricate the whole thing. So I've got some mortise and tenon joints. I had to make a monkey tool. So this is just a chunk of A33 that I drilled a 1/4 inch hole, slightly oversized, and then a little vent hole. So if it's too tight, it can kind of have some suction, but that's kind of rare. But it's just good to have a little peephole and a little vent hole. Using the butcher taper tool on the press, I can isolate and draw out that tenon, and then I can clean up the shoulder with the monkey tool and get it nice and crispy so that when I rivet it on there, it's a nice, tight, clean looking joint. So yeah, I've got some 3/16 by 1 flat bar for the main body of the rack, and then 3/8 square stock for the tenons that I just welded to the underside here, just offsetting the holes so that the tops are flush with this, so you're laying something across. It's not lower or higher than the rest of the table. I made a little bit of bending jig just to get that radius nice. I just happened to have the offcut of that from this stand was the same radius that I needed to bend this to match the radius of the plate. So that worked out really nice. Yeah, so as I was forging out the tenons on the butcher taper die using the induction forge, I was able to block it up on some fire brick and angle it and laying it down to where it's just, hitting that one part of the coil. And I had the induction forge right next to the press to where I could keep an eye on it and keep it running and be heating one while I was forging one and swap them back and forth. That worked out really nicely. So once I got the tenons forged out, they were too long because they only needed to be 7/16 long. That's barely any material, being 1/4 inch round out of 3/8. So I went ahead and trimmed them. I just had it 1x diameter sticking out, which would be the 1/4 inch, and then the 3/16 of the flat bar going through that. So I think you can, generally with rivets, you can do 1 to 1.5 times diameter stick out, just depending on how big you want that rivet head. We sell coal racks for your presses and for your coal carts. This is a real nice, quick, off-the-shelf option for organization. You keep your dies on there, keep your little wrench, keep your little special bolster block for your butcher dies. And we also have little scale trays to help catch scale from your forging where you can just dump it easy. So we sell them for the presses and for the carts, both narrow side and long side of the cart. So check them out at coaliron.com. Stay organized.